Hello and welcome to today's episode of Office Hours. I am Dr. Shelli Hendricks, the founder of Blue Horizon Solutions and your host of Office Hours. So I'm happy to share with you today of this session on year-end review and reflection. We always like to think this time of year is such a great opportunity to reflect back on successes and victories, as well as lessons learned during the year. And so I'm pleased to bring you a couple of thoughts about reflecting on the year in review to set yourself up for success in the new year. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. Before we jump in, I'll mention that we like for these broadcasts to be highly interactive. So if you're able to join online, we like for you to register in advance if you would. There's no charge for it, but it gives us an opportunity to follow up with you and send you materials and handouts and things like that as well. So with that, I will dive in and share with you our conversation for today. As I said, I am Dr. Shelli Hendricks. I'm somebody who has been studying leadership and organizational development inside organizations of all shapes and sizes and across several industries. So I've done a lot of work within the high tech arena, as well as the energy, oil and gas, renewable energy, agriculture, more recently in marine conservation and scuba and water sports industry. So wherever you're coming to me, I am coming to you as well and meet you in the middle. And I'm happy to explore your leadership journey as well as that of your team and your organization at large. We also work with small and medium-sized businesses to grow your value so that when you get ready to exit, you have a solid asset that is prepared for acquisition by someone else who will take your legacy forward. So without further ado, I'd like to take us through this conversation. So what you see on the slide here, today's objectives, the objectives for this conversation are really to give you an opportunity to reflect on successes over the past year, to think about some of your learning edges. What are some of those places right on the cusp of breaking through? And how can you leverage those going into the new year? I'll give you an opportunity to prioritize some areas of opportunity for growth and development going into 2026, and also how to develop a plan of attack. A little bit about who I am and why we do what we do here. At Blue Horizon Solutions, you see this water droplet on the screen, and this is a symbol of what we hope our work will represent. So each of us is a drop of water in a sea of change and community and making a difference in the world. So together we can have an impact, a global impact, raising sea level across the world. And so having our work make a contribution. So we believe that everyday words and actions can create an impact on the people, on the planet, on the environment around us, as well as in the culture inside your organizations. Over time, that impact becomes our legacy. So whether by design, whether it's on purpose or by accident, that continuous impression over time, that impact day after day becomes our legacy. And so again, collectively, this overall impression becomes our legacy. We know that learning is the foundation for leading transformation. So when we learn new ideas or we learn new skills, we learn new tools and practices, it changes the way we think about the world. It changes the way we think about our interactions with other people. And so through learning, we believe we can change the world. And our mission is to equip leaders to make waves of positive change for future generations. And everything we do at Blue Horizon Solutions is around learn, lead, and leave a legacy. So first, I want to give you a moment to reflect on went really well for you this year. What are some of those victories that maybe you haven't already named? What did you learn from these experiences? Who were you becoming when you celebrated? Who were you becoming as you struggled through the hard parts of this year? Undoubtedly, there were challenges that you faced and overcame. So, how did you evolve as a human being? How did your challenges and your lessons learned shape you as a leader? And how has that informed the leader you wish to become in the coming season? Next, I'd like to ask you to think about what is one area of your leadership, of your business, of your team, or of yourself that you would like to improve in the coming year. One of the tools we use to explore this a little bit is called the Wheel of Life exercise. And you may have encountered this through your education or through different work experiences, through different life experiences. But we use this tool as a way to think about each of these different segments of our lives. And how does this inform your overall satisfaction, your overall happiness with life, with your career, with your family situation, and with your contribution to the global community of practice? So, as you look around these different segments of the model, career, your finances, friends and family, your partner, significant other, or spouse, again, your relationship with that individual specifically, as well as your personal growth and learning, what would you like to learn in this next season? What about fun, leisure, and recreation? I hear from a lot of leaders who wish to do more travel, would like to do more learning in the space of recreation. They want to try out scuba diving, for example, or a new aspect of um, some kind of fun activity that they're engaged in. Maybe exploring travel associated with some of that adventure. Health and well-being, of course, equips us to be able to move around in the world and experience those fun adventures that we look at in recreational time. So how can I take care of my physical well-being so that I can show up my full and best when it matters most? When I need to have the energy for a conversation, or when I need to be able to give a presentation, I want to be able to show up as my true authentic self. So, what do I need to do in this domain of health and well being so that I can? Am I well rested? Am I nourished and hydrated? And have I gotten some exercise so my heart feels strong and capable of pumping that blood? Or is my physical body able to move, to go for a hike, to go for a bike ride, or to go for that scuba dive that you've been looking to do? And then what about my physical environment? Is my home a safe refuge? Is it an oasis for restoration and healing and recovery from the day? What about your community environment? Are you pleased with the area where you live? What would make it cleaner, healthier, happier, more organized, and more reflective of your internal life as well? So take a moment to think about these different segments of your life. If there's one of these domains that you'd like to do more of, or less of, or enhance in some enriching way, what would that be for you? Right. Once you've had an opportunity to explore this model, I'll have you move forward and think about the values that you bring into the new year. What really matters to you? And maybe for some of you, it's been a little while since you have done an exercise like this, where you have sat and reflected on your values. your business or your organization may have its very clearly articulated values along with the mission and vision of the organization. But very frequently, I find the leaders I work with as clients may not always give time to reflect on what are my values in this season? What matters most to me? So, we have another little exercise here that I want to share with you. And in a moment, you'll see these words on the screen right above me here. And you'll see there are a lot of different kinds of words, different aspects of life, perhaps from the segments you identified a moment ago. But and also you'll see there are a couple of write-in candidates, some blank spots here where you can fill in. Maybe it's not mentioned here, maybe it's not listed, but it's important to you, or it's a different version of the word. And so as you look at this list, if you were to choose top five or even top three of these values, what would they be for you? And how would you define them? And more importantly, what are you doing to honor these values in your life? I find for as many leaders as we have in the room when we're doing a workshop or a retreat or a leadership summit, for as many leaders we have in the room, we have different combinations of these values. So it's critically important to take a moment to pause and reflect on what are these values for you? So choose five, and then if you can narrow to three, and define what do those mean for you. So for example, I'm finding in this season that my health and wellness are critically important to me. I've recently had an injury which was followed by surgery and a period of recovery and healing, and I'm still in the process of completing physical therapy. So for me in this season of life, my health and physical wellness is front of mind, and I'm very attentive to what are the things that can help me to heal and grow stronger and improve so that I can do the fun things in life and the important things in life that matter to me, both as a leader, as a member of my community, and as a family member, as a friend and colleague to those around me. Service is another one that comes to mind in this season of my life, whereas maybe earlier in my career, different things were more important, but right now, service is really important to me. So I want to look at what are those values that are prominent for me, and how am I embodying those values? How am I honoring those values with my choices? So again, as you think about moving into the next season, moving into the new year, even, I want you to think about these two questions. How will your values inform the goals that you will set for the new year? And also, how does knowing your values help to inform and prepare you for the new year? And lastly, we always like to ask this question, what's on your horizon? What's coming up for you? What are you embarking into? Perhaps you're standing on the precipice of some transition or change or transformation, a new season in your life, a new chapter in your life. Maybe you're moving across country. Maybe you're moving into a new company or a new role. Maybe you're making family choices, family changes. And so, what are those new seasons, new chapters that you're embarking into? And how would you like your values to show up in that new season? Well, at Blue Horizon Solutions, we specialize in navigating through times of transition and times of transformation. So I'd love to invite you to connect with us, to follow us on any of our social media channels. You can also use the QR code here to schedule time to connect with me. I'd love to book a strategy conversation for you as you think about entering into the new season or into the new year. How can I be of support to you? How can my team of coaches? We have coaches around the world who focus on professional and leadership development. In addition, many of our coaches also have expertise in the business arena, different functional expert areas of expertise. And so I'd like to have a conversation with you so we can get you paired with the right coach for your needs in your areas of priority in this new season. So connect with us here. With that, I will say thank you for participating. Thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to joining you on your journey into the new season in the coming year. Look us up. I look forward to seeing you in the new year.